On the peaceful shores of Georgia's Lake Oconee, a crime unfolded that left an entire community shaken. Russell Dermond, an 88-year-old businessman who once owned several Hardee's restaurants, was discovered dead inside his own garage. His wife, Shirley Dermond, aged 87, could not be found, sparking a desperate search across the lake and surrounding areas. 10 days later, that search came to a heartbreaking end when her body was recovered from the water. The couple had lived a quiet, respected life in their gated community, which makes this tragedy even more mysterious. Who could target two elderly people with no known enemies? Why here, and why in such a disturbing way? To this day, the Dermond murders remain unsolved, leaving behind questions that continue to haunt investigators and the people of Georgia. Welcome to Crime Uncovered. In this episode, we dive deep into one of America's most disturbing cold cases, a story that combines mystery, tragedy, and unanswered questions. Russell Dermond was more than just a name in Putnam County. He had built his career as a successful businessman, once owning several Hardee's fast food restaurants across Georgia. After years of hard work, Russell and his wife, Shirley, decided to slow down and enjoy their retirement. They settled into a beautiful lakeside home in the exclusive Great Waters community on Lake Oconee. The couple lived a quiet, comfortable life. Neighbors described them as friendly, generous, and deeply respected in their community. At ages 88 and 87, Russell and Shirley were enjoying the rewards of a long and stable life together. But in May of 2014, that picture of peace and security was shattered. What began as an ordinary day in the Dermond household soon turned into one of the most baffling mysteries Georgia has ever seen. Russell was discovered dead inside the couple's garage, and Shirley was nowhere to be found. For days, friends, neighbors, and authorities searched for answers, until the investigation took an even darker turn. On May 4, 2014, the Dermonds' close friends began to worry when the couple did not appear at their local church service. This was highly unusual, since Russell and Shirley were known for being active and consistent in their routines. Concerned, the friends went to the Dermonds' lakeside home to check on them. What they discovered shocked the entire community. Russell Dermond, age 88, was found dead in the garage. His wife Shirley was missing without a trace. Investigators immediately launched a search, fearing she may have been taken against her will. For 10 long days, family, neighbors, and law enforcement held on to hope for her safe return. Tragically, those hopes came to an end when Shirley's body was discovered in Lake Oconee by a fisherman. Medical examiners later determined that she had died from injuries caused by blunt force trauma. The mystery deepened. Why would anyone target an elderly couple who had no known enemies? What possible motive could explain such a disturbing sequence of events? Nearly a decade later, those questions remain unanswered, and the case continues to puzzle investigators and true crime experts alike. When detectives carefully examined the Dermond home, they noticed something unusual. There were no broken windows, no forced locks, and no signs of a struggle inside. Even more puzzling, nothing of value appeared to be missing. Investigators quickly ruled out the idea of a typical burglary. This was not a random crime of opportunity. Instead, the evidence suggested something more deliberate, more calculated. Whoever committed this act seemed to know exactly what they were doing. But here's where the mystery deepens. Russell and Shirley Dermond were not wealthy celebrities, nor were they involved in any known disputes. They were described by friends and neighbors as a kind, quiet couple who enjoyed retirement on the peaceful shores of Lake Oconee. They had no known enemies. So the pressing question became, if not robbery, then why? Who would want to target the Dermonds in such a personal and disturbing way? That unanswered question continues to drive speculation and keeps this case alive in the public's memory. Detectives soon began to wonder if the answer to this tragedy might lie in the Dermond family's past. 14 years earlier, in the year 2000, the couple's oldest son, Mark Dermond, had been killed in Atlanta during a dispute connected to drugs. Police eventually caught the man responsible and closed that case, but the emotional scars never healed for Russell and Shirley. Because of that history, investigators asked themselves an unsettling question. Could the 2014 murders be somehow linked to Mark's death years earlier? Was someone seeking revenge against the Dermond family, even after all that time? Or Was this an entirely new vendetta? Something separate, with motives that no one could yet understand? The possibility of a connection to their son's case cast a long shadow over the investigation, leaving detectives to carefully examine whether the past had come back to haunt the Dermonds. As the investigation stalled, federal authorities stepped in to assist. The FBI joined the case, bringing in specialized resources and forensic expertise. During the examination of evidence, experts found something unusual on Russell Dermond's clothing, an unknown DNA profile. This genetic material did not match anyone already stored in the National Criminal Database. That discovery kept investigators hopeful, because DNA often provides the most reliable path to solving a case. To push the investigation forward, authorities began exploring advanced genealogy techniques, the same cutting-edge methods that were famously used to identify the Golden State Killer decades after his crimes. By tracing family trees and distant relatives, investigators hoped they might uncover the identity of the unknown suspect. To encourage public assistance, a $25,000 reward was announced for any information leading to an arrest. Yet, despite the publicity and the FBI's involvement, no one has stepped forward with the missing piece of the puzzle. The case remains open, leaving more questions than answers. The killings of Russell and Shirley Dermond have puzzled investigators and the public for more than a decade. What makes this case so unusual is the absence of the usual clues. There was no forced entry, no theft, and no obvious motive. These gaps have led experts to consider several unsettling possibilities. Could this have been the work of professionals? Individuals trained to leave no trace behind? Some analysts believe the precision of the crime points in that direction. Another theory suggests that the crime may have been staged to send a message. But if so, who was the intended audience? And why choose the Dermonds? The most haunting possibility is that the couple may have known their attacker, someone close enough to earn their trust yet capable of carrying out such a chilling act. 10 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. No arrests, no definitive leads, just questions that continue to haunt a quiet Georgia community and fascinate true crime followers around the world. The murders of Russell and Shirley Dermond serve as a chilling reminder that even in communities considered safe and peaceful, tragedy can strike without warning. For years, investigators have searched for answers, yet the case remains unsolved. However, there is still hope. With the rapid advancement of DNA technology and forensic genealogy, law enforcement has tools today that were not available a decade ago. These same methods have helped solve cold cases across the United States, sometimes after 20, 30, or even 40 years. That means there is a chance, no matter how much time has passed, that one day justice will be served for the Dermonds. Until then, the case continues to stand as one of America's most haunting and mysterious unsolved crimes, a story that reminds us how fragile security can be and how long communities can carry the weight of unanswered questions. If you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more true crime stories. And tell us in the comments, do you think DNA genealogy will finally expose the killer?